Meta just released a new AI image generator called Muse Image, and here's what's causing alarm everywhere. It can pull any Instagram user directly into AI-generated photos without permission. Not a deepfake, not manipulated footage. An actual AI model trained to recognize faces from Instagram and insert them into completely fabricated scenes. Picture this. You wake up to find yourself photoshopped into a photo you never took. In a place you've never been, doing things you never did, created by someone who found your Instagram profile. Meta's official stance is that this is simply another creative tool, like Photoshop or any AI image generator. They're framing it as an innovation. Technically, they are right, it's genuinely impressive technology, but here's what makes it concerning. The model doesn't require explicit permission to use your face. It doesn't ask. It doesn't warn you. It just takes your public Instagram photos, learns your face, and lets anyone generate unlimited images of you in any context imaginable. This is where the story gets interesting, because Meta didn't exactly announce this prominently. They buried the feature inside a broader AI push, and most of the tech world didn't notice. But now that it's emerged, the privacy and copyright questions are piling up rapidly. And Meta's decision to build this raises uncomfortable questions about where we are drawing the line between AI innovation and personal safety. Meta hasn't been idle in the AI space. Over the past few years, they've built incredibly impressive generative models. There's Make a Video, which turns text into videos. There's Emu, their video generation research, dozens of image models. But here's the thing, Meta was moving slowly on generative AI, while OpenAI grabbed headlines with ChatGPT and Google raced with Gemini. Meta was quietly building infrastructure that could eventually power every product they own. That's the strategy. Instagram has over 2 billion monthly active users. That's not just a social network, it's a massive training ground for visual AI. Every photo is a learning opportunity. Every face is data. Enter Muse Image. It's not like Dolly or Midjourney. It's designed specifically for Meta. It understands Instagram's visual language, how photos work on the platform, what aesthetics resonate, what style dominates, and critically, it integrates face recognition at scale. Every Instagram profile becomes a potential training source. That scale is the difference. The model has learned from billions of real people across thousands of cultures, lighting conditions, and photographic styles. Here's what the headlines aren't telling you. This isn't just about making cool AI art. This is Meta building a complete visual intelligence system that could control what billions of people create and see on Instagram. It's the full play. So how does Muse Image actually work? At its core, it's a diffusion model, basically a neural network trained to transform random noise into detailed images. But the real power is in the conditioning system Meta built. When you generate an image with Muse, you start with a prompt, maybe a person on a beach at sunset. But here's the unexpected part. You can also reference a specific Instagram profile. The model then does face recognition and pulls that person's visual features from their public photos. It analyzes the geometry of their face, skin texture, hairstyle, expression range. All of that becomes part of the generation. The model runs this analysis across multiple images from that profile to build what's essentially a flexible 3D representation of that face, something it can render at any angle, in any lighting, with any expression. Then it blends that synthetic face into whatever scene you've described. You in Paris, you winning an Olympic medal, you with celebrities you've never met. The model synthesizes a photorealistic image. The technical challenge is called identity preservation, keeping the face consistent with your actual appearance across different poses and contexts. That's where training on billions of Instagram faces matters tremendously. And here's the kicker, the model does this in real time. You generate an image and boom, there you are in it. Let's look at what this actually looks like. Meta's demo videos show users specifying an Instagram account and a scene, something like my friend Sarah on a yacht in Monaco. The model generates a photorealistic image of Sarah, pulled from her Instagram profile, inserted into a completely AI-generated yacht scene. The quality is genuinely unsettling. We are talking images so realistic that most people can't immediately tell they are fake. Not the creepy Uncanny Valley deepfakes from years ago. These look like genuine photographs. You can see fabric texture, water reflections, skin detail. The lighting is physically accurate. Post these on Instagram without context, and most people would believe they're real. Here's where it gets interesting for creators. Meta's positioning this as a creative tool. Imagine you're an influencer. You could generate dozens of variations of yourself in different outfits, locations, moods, all pulled from your own Instagram, all perfectly consistent. That eliminates weeks of photo shoots. But the flip side is obvious. Someone generates images of you in compromising situations. Fake romantic photos, doctored vacation pictures, false screenshots of things you never said, all pulled from your public Instagram without your consent. And here's where things get surprising. Meta hasn't built in any permission system to prevent any of that. How does Muse stack up against other AI image generators? Dolly 3 is brilliant at following detailed text prompts. Midjourney excels at artistic style and blending. Stable Diffusion runs locally, but none of them have what Muse has: direct face recognition and Instagram integration. Dolly 3 generates people by description, a person with blonde hair and green eyes. It invents them from scratch. Midjourney works the same way. Stable Diffusion too. You describe what you want and the model creates it. That's actually a design feature meant to prevent privacy problems. Those companies deliberately limited the ability to target specific real people. Meta chose differently. Muse Image is built to target specific Instagram users by design. That's the core difference. It's not accidentally able to do this, it's the feature. So the comparison isn't really Dolly versus Muse. It's about two completely different philosophies. One prioritizes creative freedom over privacy. One prioritizes privacy over absolute creative flexibility. And Meta's betting creators will love the flexibility enough that privacy concerns become secondary. Here's what's interesting. It's not even a technical difference really. It's a choice. Meta had the data advantage. They own Instagram. They own the faces. And now they are converting that into features. And this is what nobody's talking about. This is just the beginning. What does this mean for everyone? First, the obvious issue: consent. Your face is on Instagram, potentially thousands of times. You posted it yourself, friends tagged you, or Meta automatically detected it. Now Meta's built a tool that lets anyone generate images of you without asking. No notification, no opt-out. Your face is in the training data whether you agreed or not. That raises massive questions about consent in the AI age. You didn't agree your Instagram photos would train a model that generates synthetic images of you in any scenario. Meta's terms of service cover general AI research, but not this. Legally, Meta's probably fine, your photos are public, but ethically it's murky. The second concern is misuse. Deepfake technology is already scary. Muse Image, with its simplicity and scale, could accelerate that problem dramatically. Someone angry could generate fake images of you. Scammers could create fake dating profiles. Political operatives could generate scandal photos of candidates. The potential for harm is enormous. Meta's response has been cautious. They're discussing safety tools and detection systems, but here's the thing that changes everything: the technology exists. The training is done. The model exists. Even if Meta implements safeguards, everyone else now knows this is possible. Once you know something can be done, you can't unknow it. The technology will spread. How do you actually use Muse Image? Right now, access is limited. You apply, get approved, then you can generate. The interface is straightforward. Type a scene description, reference an Instagram profile, and the model handles the rest. Generation takes seconds to a minute, depending on complexity. Quality depends on how many photos. The target account has more photos means a better face model. A profile with thousands of photos generates more consistent results than one with 50. Meta's integrated this into Instagram's native tools. So theoretically, you could generate directly from your phone, create an image, and post it as a regular photo or reel. That's the distribution advantage. It's not a separate service. It's built in. As Meta rolls this out more broadly, they're planning batch generation, effects, parameter adjustment, and eventually hybrid content mixing, Muse images with your own photos. The real bet Meta's making is that this becomes as standard as stories and reels. Imagine if everyone you follow is generating AI images of themselves in different contexts. Your entire feed becomes a mix of real and Muse-generated content. And because the model trained on Instagram itself, the style looks native to the platform. These don't look like they came from external AI software. They look like Instagram photos. But wait, there's something nobody's talking about yet. Once generated images become this normal, how do you know who you're actually looking at anymore? Here's what this moment means for you. We are at an inflection point where AI image generation stopped being a novelty and became a genuine concern for everyone who shares photos online. This isn't about dolly art anymore. This is about a massive tech company building tools that let anyone synthesize your face into any scenario without consent. Meta's not evil for building this. They're not secretly plotting. But they made a conscious choice to prioritize capability and flexibility over the privacy protections other companies built in. That choice has consequences. It changes online trust. Here's what to watch. First, regulation. There's already discussion of synthetic media laws requiring disclosure when images are AI generated. Second, adoption. If creators embrace this at scale, it normalizes incredibly fast. Third, countermeasures. Other companies will build detection tools, watermarking, or their own opt-out systems. But here's the real takeaway. This is who Meta is. A company that sees data as a resource to optimize and monetize. Your face, your photos, your patterns, all of it. That's not changing. What's changing is how directly and obviously they build products around it. Muse image is the beginning. If you care about privacy, think carefully about what you post on Instagram. Even private photos might eventually be used this way. If you're a creator, think about whether the flexibility is worth the trade-off. Once you use these tools, you legitimize them for everyone. Follow for daily AI news, and I'll break down what happens next.